We all want to save money, but we still want to look chic and we want to glorify God. So I'm going to show you how we can do that with a simple thrift find and the most basic beginner sewing skills. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm Ina Cecilia with The Little Way, where we glorify God through our homemaking, through our style, through preparing food for our families. And I have a fun afternoon. I am not a perfect sewer. I am not an expert at all, but I do have a little bit of patience that God has given me. I do have some ideas on what I think I want to make, and I have some little helpers back here. So if you see that, that is real life. Again, I try to get these projects done. I think that's why I fixate so much on done is better than perfect, because as a mom of four, if I had to spend an afternoon sewing everything perfectly, cooking the perfect meal, having an orderly house, doing everything I have to do, and doing it again perfectly, I would go insane. I would never get anything done. I would feel like a big fat failure. So sometimes you just have to do your best. You have to figure out which corners you're going to cut, and you just have to try, because there will be a season where maybe you'll be able to perfect it. You don't want to wait until your kids are grown in order to learn a skill that you really want to learn. And I think it feels good, and it shows others that they also don't have to be perfect. So this is a thrift find. I did one of those hauls where I went to the thrift store where I filled a bag with $10 of items. And at first I thought I should really save this for someone who is this size. It is 6 times the size that I normally wear. And I kept going back and forth, but I love that it is 100% cotton. It is from Old Navy. It has these cute flowers embroidered into it, and it just seemed like a really good house dress skirt where I could get dirty in it. And I was already gonna pay $10 for that bag of clothes. I might as well throw one more thing in because it fit in that entire haul, so I was able to get basically a free dress out of it. What I think I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut it. Let me scooch back so you can see. This is what the dress looks like. I'm gonna hold it further back so you can see it. I'm trying to do as little editing as possible because, again, I'm a busy mom and I'm just trying my best here. So I think I'm going to cut out a giant rectangle and then just sew an elastic band into it. And I don't even think I have to sew anything at the bottom if I'm really smart about it, because it's already hemmed. And then it has pockets. I don't know if the pockets are going to be functional really, because it is so large that I don't know if the sizing will be fine. I am not 100% sure if I really need to cut an additional seam and re-sew it to size it better. I think it'll just maybe be more flared and it won't be as fitted, and I can always alter that if I need to. So let's see how long this takes me. Let's see how good it turns out. As I mentioned, it is just gonna be an around the house skirt for a Saturday when I'm cleaning and doing laundry. So I am not going to be too preoccupied with how perfect it is. All right, let's get to the sewing. All right, I already know I'm gonna get a lot of heat for this, but as I mentioned, I am a beginner. This video is not for you if you're an expert. If you're just watching this to critique how I do things, I'm gonna pray for you. But these are for people like me. I'm a mom of 4 with 1 on the way. I want that instant gratification with certain things in my life, and I think I'd rather experiment with something that costs me pennies, if that, than do this with really expensive fabric and end up feeling awful later if something goes wrong. So I hope you enjoy it. I did have to run over to my neighbor to borrow some things, and that felt really good because I got to talk to my neighbor for a sec. So I'm going to pause on this voiceover so you can hear what happened there. We just got back from the neighbors, and Lucy has some thread we're holding. Needed to borrow some bobbins because we're old school. We trade some homemade treats for some things that we need, and our neighbor is so sweet, and she loves to sew. She has, how many sewing machines did she say she had? Over 40, just some crazy amount. So she has this whole sewing room, and it's just nice that we can share in community like that, because I didn't feel like doing Amazon 2-day Prime for something so small and simple. I would rather just use it as an opportunity to chit chat with my neighbors. So let's keep going. Okay, back to the project. I pressed the fabric because I don't go completely rogue. I wanted to make sure that I got the wrinkles out so I could be as accurate as possible without losing my mind. I also love ironing, so that helps. While I do this, I wanted to talk a little bit about how a project like this just reminds me what being a good steward is, and how I went down this rabbit hole in my mind about the benefits of taking on a project like this and how it relates to our role as Christians, our role as Christian homemakers, and that has to do with ingenuity and being savvy. And I was reflecting on how if we really want to be environmentalists, we really want to show God that we appreciate what He has given us, it means we're going to take something that would otherwise be thrown away and we're going to make it beautiful and useful and give it life. And that is something that I try to do in every area of my life. And maybe you're working on this and this will encourage you. You know, I find myself frustrated when I hear celebrities who talk about climate change and the impact that we make and what we need to do about it. And they run off on their jets. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent here, but here we are going to our local thrift store and trying to repurpose and upcycle some materials. You could also eat leftovers. So if you have leftovers in your refrigerator, could you eat that instead of buying new groceries, getting takeout? What else? Could you go to your local coffee shop and ask for old coffee grounds and create your own compost and your own mulch for your garden? Could you go to your local library and check out books and go there for free entertainment instead of going to the movies or going to buy tickets to a show or buying books on Amazon, even though that's convenient? So there's lots of ways that we can be resourceful and really take advantage of the fact that God did not create all these things for us to just waste it. He also created us to be creative people just like Him in His image, who can make wonderful, beautiful, useful things and not just throw things away and disrespect what it is that we have available to us. And I love the fact that I'm modeling this for my children. So I think one of the best ways you can teach your children not to be wasteful and to be appreciative of what they have is by doing things like this. And my children noticed it wasn't perfect. And I think they breathed a sigh of relief to see Mom's not perfect. Mom is just trying something, and it's okay to be a beginner. It's okay to stink at something. It's okay to not be perfect. I also had a conversation with my mother-in-law recently about how I've been noticing that some generations, they don't even want to try. They say their grandmothers did these things, but they don't have that talent. You are never too old to learn something new. I think we are all capable of learning new skills, even if you stink at crocheting, even if you feel like you don't have a musical bone in your body. There are so many resources out there that can help you to be successful. And I think it is such a humbling thing for you to put yourself in a position where you are going to be bad at something at the beginning. You're going to have to put in time and effort. You're going to have to fight that urge to give up and be lazy or do something else and to just pay for something convenient. And there is so much power to being able to not only learn something new and be successful at it, but be able to overcome a fear that being bad at something or not being perfect at something means that you are less than. If anything, it is so inspiring. It is something that will inspire you to try something else new because you are familiar with that vulnerability. You recall recently how you got past that anxiety or that nervousness to do something that you've never done before or something that maybe people will laugh at or critique. So with that, I hope that this video inspired you to try something new today and to really thank God for the abundant resources to learn, for the opportunities to be more humble as a way of sanctifying yourself, and encourage your family as well to do something. Maybe you can all do something as a family that is super new, where everyone can just laugh and say, wow, we all tried snowboarding and we all fell on our butts, and that's okay because we had a good laugh and we had some good memories. I hope to do more projects like this. I hope that you all continue to watch my videos that show me falling flat on my face and still trying anyway. Leave me a comment with a project you've taken on or something new that you've done, and I'm sure it'll inspire others to start today. And if you feel comfortable, share how old you are to really show that it doesn't matter what age you are, you can do something new. Here I am showing my baby bump in this dress, and I love that it has the elastic, it has the pockets. I think it was a 10 out of 10. So thanks for watching, and God bless.